Hello and welcome to a new episode of Upgrade Time. So last time I was doing some benchmarking on looking at the performance of the basic, and before that I was working on the intro sequence. So the next logical step is to exploit what we learned about where the basic is working, which is the more lines you have, the slower it gets, and to use that by splitting some of the code. So this is the previous episode, and this is the current one. So I did a bit of a graphical change while I was at it. Not much. Let's see. Yeah, so the tennis court has been upgraded, and I did a small change to the font as well, mostly the numbers, because they were annoying me in the intro sequence. And I fix the problem I was indicating last time about this room, which is the very dark room close by the safe, which was at the incorrect location. So this is all for the graphics. The actual big change, as you can see, is that encounter.base base was 46 kilobyte, now it's 44 kilobyte, and we have demo base, score.s, and boot base. So what I did is that I extracted the intro sequence that shows a typewriter message on the documentation page to move them in a secondary file. So this is just some spacing, just some formatting fix, and this has moved out. So how does it look? So yes, on the batch file obviously has been changed as well. We are building a few more files. So one called boot.base, demo.base, and we have scores.s, which is compiled by the assembler. I will explain why later. On the intro sequence, which used to call encounter, now calls boot, which is this file here, boot.tap. And we also have title.tap, demo.tap, and scores.tap, which you can see here as well. So, boot base, what it does is basically it's a very small program, and its only purpose is to make it fast to start, clean up the screen, change the font, print a blinking logo, loading text, and then only load the intro sequence. This way, if you have a very slow floppy drive, you still have something interesting to show to the player. This is some ugly kludge caused by the way Oric handles special commands, like the move command. Every time you use a new command, it's going to display, because of a bug, this infamous message, install master disk in drive, and wait for a key press. So I'm trying to fix that. I'm discussing with the other guy on the Defense Force forum. There is a patch for it, but basically I'm forcing that one here, so the message does not appear later in the game, because it is very annoying. So what it does this ugly thing. So press enter, erase the screen, CLS twice, it's a typo, change the font, and then hide the caps logo by poking a color 0 ink attribute on top right, and then loading message and load demo. So this is a demo which is loading the title picture as usual. And then I reorganized the original sequence. So each one is in a separate block of text. So plus that one, which is a new one, which I'm going to see. So that's the user manual. Same thing as before. The story, which been reorganized with a slightly different text. And I change the way it's working by waiting both for a key press or a time delay. which is passed in this variable here. So here we display the copyright message. We wait for 500 milliseconds, and goes up 1000, goes there, temporization wait key. And I did the same trick as last time, which is if the key is already containing something, we return immediately. But I'm going to show what it looks like and continue with the details. So, as usual, more stuff. So, this is a ugly insert master disk. Briefly, the blinking load, I guess you didn't see it because it was too fast. And basically the main difference is that I'm not pressing anything, and it's just going through all that by itself. How to play, good luck, you will need it, something I just added. And still, so now I move that to its full page. Basically it's like somebody writing its own diary. So Wednesday, September 1st, 1982, I remember it like if it was yesterday. My client had asked me to save their daughter, who had been kidnapped by some villains who hide in a posh house in the middle of nowhere. I was given carte blanche on how to solve the issue, using lethal force if necessary. I parked my car on the marketplace and approached discreetly by foot to not alert them from my presence. Plus a small delay behind to let some chance people to load, and then it cycled back here. And so I removed the menu which was here. So I'm just pausing here. So this is a new leaderboard thing where I display a name, a score, and some message. Solve the case, fall into a pit, thing like that. And the reason is I was thinking about replayability. The problem with this game is that it's an adventure game, which means if you solved it, well, you solved it, game done. But the thing is, every single action you are doing in the game actually is validated. And if you look in the code, you can see there is these variables which maintains some points. So when you kill one of the criminals, you get 50 points. Managing to build the various element of some bomb or explosive, 100, 100, 200 to open the safe, 200 to manage to burn something, and same thing with a dog on stopping the alarm, which give a total of about 925 points, give or take. I did not actually try to do it. And at the end, your game score is basically the number of points minus the number of movement. So the longer it took to do the operation, the less points you have, and the more things you did, the more points you have. Which means that you can actually try to redo the game now that you know how it works, to go faster somewhere, limit the amount of operation, and things like that. And so this is what the code does. Let's scroll a bit. So initialize the usual things. Here I cheated with the thing we were doing before, which is a number of line here. I did that so I could display this thing on the top of the screen. So I have my 28 full lines usable. Then I load the scores, which is this file which was generated here, and the scores contains this. Basically it's a 24 entries, each one is 19 bytes, 2 bytes for the score, 1 byte for the game ending condition, and 16 for the name of the famous detective. And that's how you see Lieutenant Colombo got 900, and entry 1 solved the case. And solve the case is indeed entry 1. And you can be maimed by a dog, shot by a truck, fell into a pit, tripped the alarm, ran out of time, and blown into bits. There may be some other conditions, but basically I'm going to modify later the game, so when you finish the game, either by failing or by succeeding, your score is going to be compared to one of these scores here, and if you have a higher score, you are going to enter the Hall of Fame, forcing the weaker score out. And the number here will depend on how you solve the thing. So this is just some check to make sure that I don't break the format, because the format is going to be very important. One of the weaknesses of the BASIC is that it is very slow in doing iterations. I've been doing many attempts at reading a list of scores from some data table. So before settling on that, I had some data, and I tried to read them and print them, and in every case I got something similar to that. That one took 850 on the timing using the benchmark timer. On just doing some minor check, reorganizing, I managed to get it faster. So the difference between that one and that one is that I removed the next G, and that was enough to get to 813. To go from 813 to 801, I realized that it was actually 24 scores and not 23. 772 is the same thing, but using hexadecimal values instead of decimals. That one was a mysterious one. I did some initialization, which actually took longer. I will have to check why. It doesn't make any sense. That one, what did I do? Yeah, so for that one, what I did is that instead of incrementing the pointer every line, I did it only now and then, and it was much faster. And anyway, so I continued doing that, and the fastest was to actually have a file and to use one of the new instructions of the Oric BASIC, which is the move command here. And basically what I'm doing is that I'm loading this file high in memory in the secondary character set, and I'm displaying the content by using the move command, which displays bloop, 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 and the rest is displayed the same way. And that worked relatively nicely. And yes, and that's about it. Everything else is the same. So yes, so the way I doing score.s. So I wanted to do that in BASIC, but I could not find an easy way to do it. So basically, this generates a file called scores.bin from scores.s. I made a small macro to generate the format I wanted more easily. And this score.bin is converted to score.tape and defined to be loading at 9C00. And then it's added normally. So if I go back here, oops, now it's running normally. And normally if I press space, oh, forgot to clean that. Then I'm back to the game as normal. East, south, get back. And as you can see, the game works the same. So I've not done the scoring system yet. It's going to be in the next episode, or maybe not. Maybe the next episode will be a surprise. So I guess that's all I have for today. I wanted to do this. Normally this video should have been done last weekend, but I had way too many things to do. So as usual, it's all going to be on the SVN depot. And I don't know when the next video will be. Maybe next week, or maybe on Monday, which is a day off. So we'll see how it goes. So I hope that was good enough for today, and see you. Bye bye.